In comparison of my poster against the hide and seek poster and the orphan poster, um, the hide and seek poster actually didn't even have a slogan. Generally, this isn't normal because a slogan is important to captivate the mind of someone and to draw in their attention with implicit clues and enigma. And I did actually a blog post on the slogan as well, which is linked below. Whereas the orphan poster actually had a slogan to uses a creative slogan, and this intrigues the audience, and it says there's something wrong with Esther, which is right there. And this poses questions in your mind regarding what her secret is, and it's further established when viewing the trailer, which continues to play on the idea of her secret and the fact that no one knows nothing about her. So the general layout of a poster is actually quite important because, for example, obviously you need the date, which obviously I used in mine. Well, I didn't use the date. I used coming soon because I wanted it to be more mysterious and you didn't really know what was happening. And there's obviously institutional information and general, like, who's in it, and characters and actors, just in case people know who they are. So obviously, if this was a famous actor, that would be quite eye-catching to someone who knew who it was. And then this general layout is typical of a poster, but at the same time it's sleek, and the font that I decided to use it because I wanted to have it seem reflective of witchcraft because of its old-fashioned style writing, like Times New Roman. It's very similar to it, and I wanted it to reflect witchcraft in that way. And so to continue the theme of witchcraft in my poster, I actually added candles at the bottom and in the corners to be subtle, but they are bright and red, so they instantly insinuate a similar theme of death and horror. The color of the candles are brighter red than the font for the film because I wanted to create a divide between the dry blood color and the bright red colors, because it enables the witchcraft ideas of the color red candle, which symbolize death, anger, and life, to be prominent in the poster and allow there to be an idea that this would be happening within the film. And also, it makes it stand out, but not too much, because obviously the main picture is this image here, and that has to be the main focus, or else people aren't going to be drawn in. They're not going to be drawn in by the small candles in the corner. They're going to be drawn in by the big picture there. And so I had to make the image stand out, and I did this by having the lighting. It's sort of the image had an orange glow to it, which is reflective of the fire and also resembles the idea of her coming out of it sort of charred because of her silhouette. So it's a metaphor for that, and it resembles a sort of a negative side to her that she has, and so she has emerged from the problem that occurred in her past. Yet the fact that her shadow shows a split side, it gives the impression that she is actually not totally evil. So there's two sides to her. There's this side and that side. So though she's come out of the fire, essentially, there's still two sides of her. She's not pure evil. And I also challenged the media and conventions for horror by having the body language of a girl in the silhouette seem innocent and self-conscious, because obviously there's a kink in her leg where her foot turns in, which is right here. And this, despite it, and then that obviously is reflective of quite a sort of a timidness to her and a shyness, but at the same time, her feet are squared, and that totally shows a totally different side to her, which is obviously quite strong, quite powerful, typical of like people who have command and power over others. And yet in her image, and yet the whole image is a reflection of evil because of the knife and because of the chromatic themes. But yeah, therefore the character does. But despite all of this, because of the kink in the leg, because of the whole sort of body language setup, the actual image goes against the stereotypes of many horror films where the girl is purely the victim. And in my post about old horror and new horror, where there's a link below for that, I stated that many things have changed, but stereotyped female and male characters still stands in society. Though this is changing due to feminism, equality acts, and generally filmmakers wanting to push the boundaries of the norm, it still comes back into it all the time that females are the more innocent. And it also goes against Propian fairy tales, in where he looked at fairy tale books and established a structure, but some of the characters were typically male and female originally, whereas for example, the hero is a man, princess is a woman, which this is no longer the case as such. And that's it for now. Thank you.